Hey, what's up? This is Flohr, and I'm recording a message to my followers or anyone who finds my YouTube channel. I just wanted to check in on sort of what I've been up to and the future of this channel and ways in which you can support me in what I do. So for those of you who've been following me for a while or only just recently, you may have noticed that in the last few years I haven't been as active on this channel as I used to be. My last proper tutorial was in 2018 with the Digitakt Breakbeat tutorial, which was supposed to be the first of a series that I never completed. In general, I've just been posting a lot less over the last couple of years. So I just sort of wanted to explain that and talk about what I want to do moving forward. So first of all, I did sort of start to get burned out on YouTube largely because of negative comments. I have to say that the majority of the comments are really positive, and I want to thank you all for the kindness and support, and also just questions and using the comment section like it's supposed to be used. But like any channel, I have gotten some fair number of negative comments, largely having to do with my vocal tick that sometimes I make this sound. So if that bothers you, I'm sorry. I am looking into investing into a new mic and finding ways to deal with it, but ultimately it's like not something I can control. So if it bothers you that much, just please don't watch my videos. There's tons of other content creators. And for those of you who don't mind it and don't care, that's awesome. So you can keep paying attention to my videos and watching them. But yeah, it just sucks to wake up first thing in the morning and I've got an email with someone telling me that I'm disgusting. So, that kind of thing makes you not want to make YouTube videos, which takes a lot of time and energy. And I've been doing it for free, so it is labor and I don't owe it to anyone. So on that note, I do want to talk about the future of this channel and what you can do to support me. So, before I get into that, I'll also just say, the last couple of years have been pretty rough. Besides any kind of burnout, I had some health problems, which I think I mentioned on another channel, of a near-death experience in 2019, and been recovering from that. And I'm obviously feeling a lot better now, which is great. But then 2020 was 2020. We all had a rough year, and for some people that meant they were productive and shooting videos and doing more YouTube content because they were working from home. For me, that hasn't really been the case. But I kind of want to get back into it now. I am finishing up a PhD and working on a dissertation in an unrelated field to music technology. It has nothing to do with the stuff I do in this channel. So that's kind of my primary focus, and I can't really do this as a full-time job, but I do love doing it, and I love sharing. And every time I get one of these comments on one of my old videos of someone thanking me or asking a question or the fact that they learned something, it really makes me want to get back into it. So I'm about to start doing that. I have a slightly better setup with a better webcam and a better computer for doing screen caps. I'm hopefully going to integrate some of the software and hardware stuff. And like I said, I'm looking into upgrading my mic. So long story short, I want to start producing more content again, but I can't do this as a full-time job. What would really help, though, would be just some small amount of financial support. So I toyed with the idea of doing a Patreon, and I haven't pursued that because I don't think that I'm consistently going to be producing enough content on like a weekly basis to really justify asking people to pay me every month. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I have peers or friends, or people who I admire and follow on here, content creators who are very professional and who are just killing it with that kind of video content, and they deserve a Patreon. I send money to some of them every month. I don't feel like I should be doing that at this point. What I do think is appropriate is that I am a musician and I put music out on Bandcamp. And so the coolest thing you can do to support me is to buy my music. And I'm going to show you that now and ways you can do that. And then what you can do is if you buy some Flohr music that I have written, recorded, performed, etc., you can leave a note on Bandcamp and say what kind of tutorial you want or specifics like, I want the Digitakt Ambient tutorial, like so many of you. So if you buy my album and you tell me that, I'm going to respond to it. And I promise you I will make it happen. So, yeah, kind of with that out of the way, I will be also posting some YouTube quiz stuff. They have that new feature where you can ask questions to kind of see exactly what kind of content people are interested in. But really the best way you can get through to me and communicate what you want to see is by purchasing something from me on Bandcamp. I'm also going to plug some other channels and let you know some of what other stuff I've been doing that you may have missed because I'm not uploading it on here. And hopefully you can follow those channels and catch up with the other stuff I'm doing. So with that out of the way, I'm done with the webcam and let's look at some Chrome stuff. All right. So this is the VLSC Records Bandcamp. This is my album that I just put out. I mentioned that I had this health crisis in 2019, and I recorded this album immediately following that. Some of you may have caught, I did a video around that time, I think, called Return to Krell, which was part of this recording period, but didn't make it onto the album. And basically, I got home from the hospital, and I was in recovery, and I was just super inspired to make this music with my modular. This is the first all-modular album that I've ever done. I've used a modular synth on a couple of different albums, and I've performed with one for, 6 years now or so. But this was the first, 100% solo modular album. I recorded it all live, so these are all done in one take with no overdubs. And to me, it really captures what I was going through and all the feelings surrounding having a near-death experience and then the recovery period. So you can read more about it on the Bandcamp, but I would really appreciate it if people listen to this album. If you're a follower of this page and you're a fan of what I do as Flohr on YouTube, then I really would appreciate it if you listen to this album. I think you'll find, everyone will find something here. You may not like all of the pieces, but there will be something here for you if you're into synthesis, ambient music, experimental sound design, generative music, things like this. There's no drums, so this isn't for the dance music heads. This is more of a ambient, avant-garde, experimental kind of album. And I may do some videos where I talk more about how I made it and what the kind of approach the patch concept was. So yeah, if you buy this album, leave a comment. You can send a message to VLSC when you buy it and tell me what tutorial you want me to make, and I promise you I will make it. The next one, if you don't have $7, I really don't want people to buy individual tracks. We allowed it, but this is an album. I want you to listen to the whole thing. If you don't have $7, that's cool. Here's another option. I also contributed to this new EP in a new series that VLSC is doing, the RX series, which is just basically club weapons. This is inspired by Pharmacy, which is an ongoing VLSC party. I say ongoing, but we haven't been able to do it because of the pandemic. But this is something that the founders of VLSC Records, they've been doing since before I even was in part of this scene. Before I moved to Atlanta and became a part of this crew, they've been doing Pharmacy events. And it's just an event concept for club music of all genres. Primarily, techno, breaks, electro, jungle, IDM, all kind of within this continuum of heady underground dance music. And I was really happy to help start this new EP series off. It's going to be all club music, EPs, dance floor, DJ friendly idea, rather than more experimental stuff that the label sometimes puts out, like my modular album. And this is the first in a series, and it features one track from each of the founders of the label that are still involved in it. We had some other founders who aren't around, but us four were all involved in founding the label, and we each contributed a track. I love all these tracks. They're really dope. I'd highly encourage you to buy the whole thing. But if you can't spare $4 and you want to just do $1, or maybe this is just your way of sending me a message and getting me to trying to influence me to make a tutorial, just buy my track, okay? That's $1. And it's 825 Warner. That's the address of a venue in Atlanta that doesn't exist anymore, where we had some really good times and super late nights. And to me, it's just like the epitome of warehouse techno. So this is a warehouse techno track. I can talk about how it's made. I may do that on another video or something later, but so this is just like way more straight and to the point than the modular stuff. So if you're into dance music, you like techno and the kind of hard trance, melodic techno, acid, all that new, fast 140 and up kind of shit. I'm pretty sure it's 140. I can't remember the exact BPM, but that's the vibe I was going for. The rest of this EP is really great and eclectic. It's not all techno like that. We've got some breaks, electro. There's more acid, some psychedelic break shit with Mull's track, and then just like real hard minimal drums from the Glad Scientist, a track that I was actually lucky enough to help engineer and mix, which I think is amazing, and I'm excited to do more work with the Glad Scientist. I should mention that the album art for Anesthetica is from the Glad Scientist as well, and we have an audio-visual component of this that is going to be announced soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. So that's it for the Bandcamp stuff, I guess. Like I said, this is the best way you can support me directly. It puts money in my PayPal, and it helps me live my life. And if you send me a message when you buy it, I will get it, and I will know, which of you care enough to do that, and that'll help me prioritize what videos I do. So that would be really awesome. Last couple things before we wrap up. Twitch, and I'm not sure why. There we go. So on Twitch, VLSC Records, VLSC_Records. This is where we've been doing a lot of live content. So one of the things I've been doing over the last year or so has been contributing to these live streams because the VLSC crew hasn't been doing live music. We have been doing various live streams. The main one has been this series called Dance Your Heart Out, which started as an in-person benefit event where live music DJs, and it would be for a kind of charity of some kind with donations taken. And we turned this into a live stream event. So we've had a number of them that have raised money for various causes. And it's been a mix of live stream with pre-recorded videos that are all streamed live. And the main concept behind them is collaborations, basically audiovisual collaborations. So there's a mix of we connect an artist, a musical artist, with a visual artist, and sometimes those are friends or peers or people who worked together before, but then sometimes they're people from completely different parts of the world who don't know each other. And I've had the real pleasure of working with some artists that I didn't know before. Singletary in particular was an artist I worked with that I posted the video of our performance on my YouTube channel. You may have seen that. And it's just been a really great experience to participate in. Other content, Glad Scientist is on this Twitch channel pretty regularly, doing tutorials on things like Touch Designer and VR and all kinds of cool stuff. And then D. Belvedere, one of the other label heads and founders, has a regular DJ show on Wednesdays, which you can see the archives of. It's every Wednesday. The times are subject to change. I think it was at 8. I think it might be starting at 9 now. I have to double check that. But if you want to stay up to date, just make sure to follow VLSC_Records on Instagram. That's where we post all of our updates. And anyway, Dylan's a great DJ, and D. Belvedere, Dylan Banks, same person, and is on every Wednesday. So please check that out. I've done some guest sets with him, which is always fun. And then lastly, I have a show on this Twitch channel, which is Synth Sunday. We've got some archives on the YouTube channel here. You can see my first one was with Walker Farrell from Make Noise, talking about the Strega. And my second one I did was with my friend Huston Singletary, who works with Ableton and a number of other companies as a sound designer. He's a great musician and has a long history of working with all kinds of companies, hardware and software, and knows a ton about synthesis. And it was a really cool kind of dive into the sound side of Ableton Live 11 and some of the things he worked on, the new packs, and talking about new devices and updates to that. So that was a great talk. And then I'm happy to announce my next one upcoming is with Richard Devine. So if you follow this channel and you don't know who Richard Devine is, I find that hard to believe. But I'm really excited to get to talk with Richard. That's going to be Sunday the 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern. It will end up archived. So if you can't watch live, then you should definitely make sure, regardless if you watch live or not, to follow these channels. I've got 2 channels that I'm contributing to now, in addition to the Flohr channel, that have, as you see, dismal subscriber numbers. So please subscribe to these channels, support them. That's another concrete way that you can support me. If you can't make a purchase on Bandcamp, the next best thing I think would be following these channels, following VLSC Records on Twitch, following VLSC Records on YouTube, and then the ASC HQ Atlanta Synth Club, which if I can find a way to rename it, I might. But if you just look for the Atlanta Synth Club on YouTube, this page was started by someone else in the Synth Club, but I've been, for those of you who don't know, I've been helping organize events and things for the Atlanta Synth Club for the last few years, and helped with this 2018 Synth Meet and some other events. We haven't been doing a lot of in-person events, so the Synth Sunday concept really started as an attempt to do something for the Atlanta Synth Club community. So a lot of our events will be kind of local focused, but then we'll have other types of events that are more other streams that are more oriented to a broader public. But we will have some that are pretty specific to the Atlanta community, and this one I think is a good example of both. Right, local Atlanta artist, but obviously an international figure within electronic music and sound design and modular and all that good stuff. So really looking forward to talking to Richard. And this Synth Sunday is part of the VLSC 4-year anniversary stream. This is going to be all just our friends and fam, basically. Live sets, DJs, performances, all types of visuals, video art. I'm collaborating with Slime Bubble on some short ambient bumps. It's going to be kind of throughout. It's not a set time. It'll be throughout the day, throughout the weekend. Just included sort of music videos of some ambient music I've been working on, and I'm really excited about that. If you aren't familiar with Slime Bubble, their art is really, really cool, and they've done visuals for a bunch of other artists throughout the streaming series that we've been doing. And so anyway, we couldn't do an anniversary party last year because of the event, the 2020 hellscape. But we are doing a live stream this year, and then who knows, maybe next year we'll be back in person. But please tune in for this Saturday and Sunday, and then definitely make it a point to tune in on Sunday, 2 p.m., and catch me speaking with Richard Devine. So I think that's about it. Again, the best way you can support me directly is to purchase things on Bandcamp. If you want a particular tutorial to be made, put a message about that. I will listen to it, I promise, and I'll do what I can. And you can leave a comment down below if there's particular things you want to see. But like I said, the best way to motivate me is to send me some money. So that's it for me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following this channel and supporting me. And I'm looking forward to adding content more regularly in the near future. All right, bye.